Alright, so this is a short video about checking mixes in the car. And I'm going to compare two mixes of a song called Gorilla in the Corner of the Room. It's my wife's favorite song that I've ever written, that she's ever heard. She claims that she fell in love with me when she heard that song. She doesn't like the way I did it this time. I just recently recorded it for the second time since I wrote it, like 17 years ago. And she favors the old recording, which has been lost. And she doesn't like the new one because it's a, it's a guy's mix. Whatever that means. It's busy. It's got a lot of moving parts, lots of things going on, and it's got a long guitar solo in the middle, and it's got a tumultuous outro, and it's just not it's not the kind of thing that chicks like in general. Anyway, I'm off on an errand to Korea's version, kind of like Walmart, but nicer. And on the way, I'm going to play. Which way should I go? I think I'll go the shorter way. Yeah, less scenic, but I kind of need to make a beeline. I need to get some magnesium for her body pain issues. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna play one mix. I'm gonna play like the first, the intro and part of the first verse in one mix, and then the other mix. And we'll see if this all works together. I never tried this before. All right, here we go. Let's start that from the beginning. Alright, that's the first, that's the intro and the first verse. Here is the new mix. Same volume on the volume knob, which I think is 17 out of 35.
See, this world ain't nothing but a simple deadly jaws designed to chew upon perfection and spit it into flaws. When I am plotting my escape, the only thing that gives me pause is that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room.
All right. So, can you hear the difference? Let's just start with the intro. Let's just A-B the intro. First one. I just stopped there at that pause. There are two pauses at the end of the intro. The drum pauses, everything pauses, but there's a decay during the pause. A decay of the effects of the guitar sound, the guitar stops. Right? Actually, I'm gonna do that again now that road noise is down because I'm at a stoplight. So again, here's the first mix. Here's the first mix intro up to that pause. I'll do both pauses and let them decay. Second mix, new mix. Well, I gotta move again, but oh shit! I'm not supposed to move. Fuck me. This is left arrow turn. Wow, there's quite a difference there, isn't there? You can especially hear it in the pauses with the decays of the guitar and the effects associated therewith. There we go. Some of these are green arrow. Some of them are not. I think the second mix is sounds louder. It's got more presence. It's got more punch. It's got a lot more, less bass, less. It's less bassy. Okay. And so again, you know, it's all a matter of taste. Some people like a lot of bass, even at the cost of clarity. Some people favor more bass, and they'll sacrifice clarity for, I don't know, more of a feeling of power. I like the feeling of power, don't get me wrong. But I also really, really favor clarity, especially when I have put just hours and hours, what seems to be countless hours, with very fine attention to detail, attention to fine detail, and I want to hear those details. But I also want the power. I want the punch. I'm looking for a balance. So, you know, I did something to the first mix to get the second mix to be that way, and I'll show you what that is. I've already kind of shown it, but I'll show it again. Let me see. Am I supposed to turn right here? I forget. I'm going to turn right at the next one. All right, so I don't think I can fast forward in this stereo system. I want to hear the guitar solo section in both, but I don't think there's any fast forwarding in this stereo system. I'm playing it from a USB thumb drive, and let me see. I'm still not totally familiar with this. I haven't had this car for a long time. Let me see. Okay, going back to the original. Listen to this. This is I guess the bridge. Lyrics are kind of hard to make out here. Solo. so that's the verse, chorus, bridge, solo. And for me, it's okay up until the bridge. And then the lyrics just get washed out. Because there are things going on in the instruments, it gets to be a really thick and heavy mix, and vocals are up as loud as I can get them. And I don't want to compress them anymore. And so what do? I need to subtract. I need to attenuate, subtract, filter, take some shit out. So that's what I did with the second mix. And that left room for kind of like bringing some other things up. Yeah, so I gotta run in here and see if I can find not just magnesium, but the right kind of magnesium. There are many kinds of magnesium, and she bought the wrong kind, and it's no good for her. I'm on a late night mission. All the pharmacies are closed. I'm on a late night mission to see if I can find the right kind, one of the right kinds. So I'm gonna leave the phone here. I'm just gonna pause the recording, go in, see if I can get it, come back and play the new mix up to the same point. All right, well, they didn't have the right kind of magnesium. The kind that doesn't work is magnesium oxide, and it's the most common in supplements. I did manage to find some Aquamin magnesium, which is made from ocean water. I got 3 days worth. But from a pharmacy that I found that was open inside. Okay, so second mix. Intro, first chorus, first verse, first chorus, second verse, second chorus, bridge, solo. Here we go. Look at that ride. Okay. The bass line is a lot more present.
Fake ass laws. I'm nothing but a walking case of probable cause. Sometimes I see this world ain't nothing but a set of deadly jaws designed to chew apart perfection and spit it into flaws. When I am plotting my escape, the only thing that gives me pause is that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room. He's so heavy, so heavy. He's so heavy, so heavy. Once upon a time I lost a piece of my mind to a flash of summer light and almost rendered me blind. I surely would have lost my way, but for some friends who were kind enough to lead me back along the labyrinth that left behind. Still when I'm groping for my keys, the only thing I seem to find is that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of
during this bridge part here, I'm still not happy with. I wish they stood out more, and I'm looking into a way to make that happen. It's called masking compression, among other things. After I look into it and hopefully figure it out, hopefully they're expensive plugins. The one that the pros use, it's over $200 just for that one plugin. It does, it does sidechain compression. It does several things. One thing it does, I think it's called masking compression. Once I figure it out, and especially if I figure out how to use it in this instance, what it will allow me to do is essentially make my voice poke out more during that section, provide more space for the vocal, more frequency space for the vocal in that section, but not in a way such that it affects other parts of the song. Anyway, let's go on to the solo.
Cause he remembers the garden we're on, and when the flaming shapes of the ground, he's so
Solo certainly stood out better. I'm of mixed opinions about that. At first it was like, okay, like I tracked it in such a way that I used the neck pickup on the guitar. I used the solo pickup on the guitar. I only do that when I really want it to stand out, real mid-rangey. I tracked it really hot, and no matter what I did with it, it was just kind of annoying. Especially bothered the missus. So I did some things to, what's the word? Alcohol damaged my brain. I used to be a lot better with words, vocally. To rein it in, to subdue it, that's the word. So what did I do? I applied an octavizer, for one thing. And I'll show what that is later. That's how I do my bass parts. Play the bass parts on the guitar, put in an octavizer plug-in, set it for 12 semitones down, and then wet signal all the way to 100. Wet mix all the way to 100, you got a bass sound. Put an octavizer on it, and I don't know. Oh, and not a perfect octave. The wet signal was not a perfect octave. I think it was a fifth, 5 semitones. I can't remember. So it's I harmonized it, and turned it down. I did some other things, and I double tracked it, and I put it left and right. I just kind of gave it a place to sit, so it didn't just wail. And so, you know, like in the first mix that we heard, it kind of sits more subdued in the mix, which I kind of like. I rather like that. In this one, it jumps out a bit more. I kind of like that too. I like them both. In the first one, it's kind of more synthy, you know, more like a synthesizer. Maybe that doesn't make any sense. It makes sense to me. And the second one, it sounds more like a guitar. That's been added effects to it. Because I'm not doing any bends, you know, in that part, anything particularly guitar-y. So, you know, that could be a keyboard. See if I can make this left turn here. And so, I've got one more stop to make. I got to pick up some tortilla chips because, yeah, Rico's tortilla chips. Gotta have them. And so after that, actually, I've got enough time before that. So that was pretty loud. That was 17, volume 17 out of, I think, max 35. So it's pretty loud for halfway up. I'm going to take it down to volume 9. All right. And I'm going to play the first mix until I get to my next destination, which is just right down the road here. Here we go. Quiet. You know, listen to things loud and quiet. All right. So here I'm just kind of trying to see what's in the background. How much does it poke out? You have a conversation over it, right? You're talking over it, but how much does it assert itself at low volume? I was really happy with this before. You know, volume 7. I don't know if you can hear that. Volume 9. I was pretty damn happy with that. Alright, now the new mix. Same volume. Holy shit! It's got more space. That acoustic guitar, the chorus effect, is clearer. The bass part is clearer. The mid-range on the bass comes out more. It's got more definition and clarity. The voice is more clear and present. But, you know, you can still talk over it. Actually, my wife would tell me to turn it down a little. The long-suffering Mrs. does not like her music loud at all. All right. Good. So I much prefer it at lower volume. So for me, the new mix is the hands down winner. All in all. So, again, this is going on, this long format. And so be it. Let's see, I'm kind of partly in the handicap space. That is a handy, no that's not. Alright. So while I'm here, this is a big ass supermarket in our neighborhood. It's also a restaurant supply store. It also has housewares. It's a local chain of like supermarkets. It's awesome. I'm gonna take you inside and yeah, there's a reason for that too. Okay, I'm gonna pause it and we'll resume inside. And I don't know how this happened, but this smartphone camera seems to have an internal stabilizer. It looks like it's got a stabilizer. It's not bouncing around as much. When I do this, there's like a little bit of a lag. It's got a stabilizer on, but I didn't turn it on. I didn't intentionally activate it. But it's cool. It just happened sometime today while I was recording the drive into Seoul. Cool beans. I don't have to invest in a stabilizer. This is a massive independent supermarket chain. And it's got lots of cool stuff in it, but here's what I wanted to show you guys. This is where the the alcoholic audio engineer, that keyword alcoholic becomes pertinent here. This is very, very typical. They're getting close to closing time, so I got to hurry it up. Highballs, beer. This is actually very modest. This is very modest. But look at that, soju. All that soju, yeah. You know what soju is? It's like watered down vodka. This is all like vodka that's been watered down to like 15 to 20%. Well, in that case of that guy right there with the red label, that's like 25%. That's old school. We call that the bullfrog because it's got the bullfrog. Jinro. Oh man, that will give you a good long sleep. That stuff will. But and it's cheap. Look how cheap it is. 1,751. That's like, I don't know, $1.25. I don't know what the exchange rate is nowadays. 1,450 for 360 mils. What I really wanted to show you is when you get really serious. This is 5 liters. I don't know how many quarts that is. Nowadays, I've been here so long, I think in terms of metric mostly, except for Fahrenheit. Look at that. 5 liters of 30% booze. Clear booze. So this is like vodka that's been watered down from 40% to 30%. It's really meant for steeping fruits and roots and making medicinal tonics, right? But, you can just treat it like vodka, basically. That's 24,001. That's like $20. $20 for 5. For comparison, like, here's my arm. All right. That much vodka watered down to 30%, 60 proof for $20. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's so affordable. So My point is, now this store closes at 11 p.m., but where are my chips? There they are. Oh, they're running out. Ricos. And they've got sorry about that. They got a really nice, good price on these too. So, sushi. I love sushi. Really grown fond of sushi since I've been here. Oh man, they ain't getting out alive. He ain't getting out alive. None of us getting out alive, right? Bulgogi. Kalbi. Gonna come and get a whole duck tomorrow. It's a whole duck. They'll carve it up for me and give me the bones, carcass. Yeah, man. This place closes at 11, but there's corner stores everywhere. There's convenience stores. 24/7. Same shit, soju. It's like even homeless people have no problem affording it. So that's a real challenge when you're trying to kick booze in a place like this. They're hurrying me along. Okay, I'm gonna pause it and back with you in the car. Yeah, so I boozed more or less daily so basically from my college years. Nah, not so much yeah. Okay, so I went to grad school when I was 24. I think 24, yeah. Got my master's at 24. And yeah, by the time I was in grad school, I was drinking myself to sleep every night. And then after that, I came to Korea for the first time. And that habit just like, there was just, I came to Korea and it's just, I couldn't believe how cheap it was, man, and easy. And you know, I did go back to America. I got married. I got here. Korean women are smoking hot. They got some of the most smoking hot women in the world. And it didn't take me long to get married. And she wanted to go to America. She had the white picket fence dream. And we ended up in New York City, Staten Island. Turn my headlights on. And so I was there on 9/11, and then leveraged that to start the Middle East wars in earnest, and I was like, fuck this, man. I'm not what meager amounts of money I'm making, as soon as she got her green card, the week she got her green card, the moving truck pulled up, and away she went. And I was like, man. So I stuck it out for a while longer, but I was like, man, I'm not funding this bullshit. I'm going back to Korea. And that's what I did. And so during my New York City years, I just couldn't afford to booze the way that you can here. So I didn't. I mean, I did as much as I could. as cheaply as I could. And my first wife was not happy with it, understandably, justifiably. But, you know, it was definitely restrained. It had to be. I couldn't afford to do what you can do here. Here, you could just, think of those prices, man. I don't know if that really hit you. Like 360 mils of, let's say, like 17% alcohol. And they put like electrolytes in it. They put stuff in to head off a hangover. The lighter stuff is actually, man, you know, it's quite good. Like you can get fucked up and pass out and wake up in the morning not hungover, no headache, no vomiting or anything like that. You know, you're not going to be at your best. But I think they also put mind control stuff in it. You may laugh, but I have reasons for conjecturing that might indeed be so. I know some people in some high places, relatively high places, who know other people in higher places, and they hear things, and they pass them along to me. And so when I said that, I'm not just goofing around. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, you know, decades basically of daily boozing, and you know, anytime in the middle of the night during the time of trying to quit, you know, just like anytime, any hour of the night, just waltz out, walk 5 minutes, be in a convenience store with so like, what is 360 ml bottle of 17%? It's like a really strong wine, right? That's like a really super strong dry wine. Even 15% is, that's a strong dry red wine, 15%, right? So think it's like 17%. And a standard bottle of wine is 750 mils, and that's a 360. So 360 times 2 is 720. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. So that's essentially a half a bottle of stronger than 15% wine. Imagine if the wine is fortified, so it's 17%, all the way up to maybe 20, 21%, depending on the brand you get. And two of those is basically a bottle of wine, an entire bottle of wine, fortified wine, you know, maybe port. And instead of costing you, you know, on the cheap end, instead of costing you 8, 10, 12 bucks, it's costing you less than $3, right? And if you buy it in the big containers, it's considerably cheaper, right? Roll that around in your head. And I showed you the really stronger stuff. I mean, you know, forget strong wine. Think like a little bit, you know, weak vodka, 25% weaker vodka, but still, that's strong, man. That's liquor. That's liquor. So, you know, you think one bottle of wine is 750 mils. That's 3/4 of a liter, and 5 liters. I think I'm gonna park in the B2 level. Yeah, it's filling up down here. Think of it, a bottle of wine. So I'm not good at math. I'm not good at doing it in my head, arithmetic and all that. And how many 0.75 liter bottles fits into 5 liters? Let's see. Two of those bottles would be 1.5 liters. And so 4 of them would be 3 liters. So 4 bottles of wine is 3 liters. Add another 2 bottles, and that's 4.5 liters. So that's 6 bottles, right? 6 bottles. Plus that leaves almost another bottle. That leaves 500 liters. So almost 7. So if I just did my arithmetic right, which is not guaranteed, I'm a retard when it comes to simple pragmatic things like doing numbers in your head. But if I'm right, that's almost 7 bottles of I think 7 wine bottles of vodka that's been watered down to 30% for $20. Roll that around in your head. If you're a boozer, if you're an alkie, and you got to figure out how you're going to afford it. Sometimes you're choosing between your beans and your booze, right? In the summertime, I can sweat it out a little bit. I can turn the aircon off. I can go without aircon. I'll just cool off with beer or whatever. I know how it is. You don't have to. You just don't. That's not an issue here. And everybody's doing it. Not everybody, but everybody. It's like Koreans drink a lot, and not so much as in the past. But if you're doing business here in the business world, you can't be a business executive and be a teetotaler. It's not going to happen. You have to drink. Yeah, to be a business executive, to be anybody important, you have to drink and you have to play golf. Doesn't matter if you hate it. And I teach executives, and some of them hate it. Both. They hate golf and they hate drinking, but they have to do it. So, anyways, point being, in this environment, if I could finally stop doing it, achieve the cessation of alcohol consumption and feel good about it, and walk into the middle of it with no temptation whatsoever, because I've been through enough misery and I've been close enough to death. I was dying. The doctors, without telling me so, basically told me so. When I went into, I broke my finger. I was drunk, and it required surgery and pins, right? And I found out how high my blood pressure was and how high my cholesterol was, and when I went in for surgery, I was in a hypertensive crisis. And they actually had to postpone the surgery to get my blood pressure down. And without, saying it directly, they were just like, dude, you drink? Yeah, I drink a fair bit. Yeah, they say things in very indirect ways sometimes, but yeah, that was it. I got out, and I had enough fear. I had fear, but I also had a lot to live for. Look at that. That's a 300-gram bar of dark chocolate. I got it for $3 at that Korean Walmart. And audio recording, getting back into audio recording, getting back into mixing. I got back into it. And I had to force myself to get back into it because all I wanted to do was drink. I didn't want to get my dopamine from somewhere else. You know, that's what you have to struggle with at first. You may have other things where you could get your dopamine and serotonin and all that other, you know, feel-good neurochemistry. But the vampire, the demon that alcohol is, will do everything to dissuade you. No, you don't want it from over there, man. Look, this feels so much better. This is so much easier. It's right at your fingertips. It's just a 5-minute stroll down the way. Doesn't cost you anything. Oh, yes, it does. Yeah, doesn't cost any money. You know, almost any money. But it was costing me my life. Yep. Not to mention worries about my liver. So, yeah. I wonder if anybody's ever going to watch these. Oh, well, I'm only 3-4 days in. I have a tendency to get, to expect things to happen too quickly. It's just, one of my foibles. But I'm hoping that, yeah, maybe there's somebody out there who's struggling with alcohol, and maybe he enjoys, he or she enjoys A-being, just like A-being audio mixes in a car, in a city, in a foreign country at night. And some dude talking about it. And then talking about having been an alcoholic. And hopefully there are people out there that would be into hearing this message. I stuck with it, and I immersed myself in the worlds of frequency and mixing, and soon alcohol was receding behind me more and more. And then one day, I was like, oh man, I'm not going to be one of these guys that jumps on YouTube and starts a channel, and I don't like how they endlessly talk about their horror stories. It's almost like they have they get something out of it, like they're reliving it. And it's almost like they're addicted to their horror stories in a way. Like they've done some sleight of hand mind transference of their addiction. I transferred my addiction to audio mixing and recording and music making. It's still it's addictive behavior. I spend too much time at it, by some standards. But at least it's healthy and it's productive. And I'm not boozing, right? But neither do I want to dwell on the past. I've said sorries where I need to. But the idea of walking into a room full of chain smokers and just drinking black coffee and smoking and, hi, my name is so-and-so and I'm an alcoholic, and I'm going to tell my rock bottom story for the umpteenth time, and we're just going to wallow in guilt and help, this is not my thing. And so, of course I'm watching these channels, I need to watch these channels to encourage myself to stay dry and stay sober. And I did, but it would just it would make me think about alcohol more. And that didn't help. It also made me think about all of my past sins more. It's I'm not, there's a place for remorse and there's a place for making amends where one can, but at some point, wallowing in the past and thinking about alcohol, it's not ultimately conducive to long-term recovery, and abstinence. That's just my opinion. That's my 2 cents. So it's I'm not going to be one of those guys. I'm saving my own ass, taking care of myself, taking care of my family. I'm thinking globally, but acting locally. And, no, I'm not starting no YouTube channel. But then it hit me. It's man, there are probably some, guys out there, maybe gals, who might really like enjoy this shit the way I do and get into it. And I live in a foreign country. That might be interesting to some people in America, Canada, other places. I don't know. Maybe I could just sort of like put it all together and not talk about alcoholism all the freaking time. But, have that be part of the deal. It's like, hey, this is part of an alcoholism recovery path through the rest of a life. And if he can do it, why can't I? And indeed, it's absolutely true. If I can do it here, where booze is so ubiquitous and cheap and basically not frowned upon, and I'm not particularly talented. I'm good with words. I consider myself and I've been told I'm a very strong lyricist. I was a poet. Still am. But not particularly gifted musically. But I love it. And so if I can do it, other people can do it. And so start the YouTube channel. Put it out there the best you can. If you build it, they will come, right? All right, that's enough. So I thought I'd go out into the night, do a mixing AB, show you what that's all about, and then put a responsible message at the end of it pertaining to alcoholism and recovery. So I've done that. All right, back upstairs. The wife has taken what little magnesium I did scare up, so hopefully she's feeling better. And I've got basically a new laptop, all scrubbed clean, and I've got to reinstall Cakewalk. I've got to reinstall all my plugins. I've got to reinstall Zoom and some other stuff. So that's gonna keep me busy. I've got to edit today's videos into something to upload to YouTube. I've got some nice tinkering work to do late into the wee hours. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll get back to that Into the Mix series with continuing to walk through the mix for passing through. I'll probably get back to that tomorrow sometime. Tomorrow being Sunday here. Although we're going to church. We're going back to church. We're going to a really cool, amazing cathedral. The long-suffering Mrs. was raised Catholic, but never been practicing. But she's feeling a yearning for spirituality, and so we're going to go to church. We're going to get something nice to eat. We're going to have a date, a good, wholesome, good old-fashioned date, a church date. And then tomorrow night, I'll get back to Into the Mix. All right, enough blathering from me. From beautiful, scenic Paju, South Korea. 5 kilometers south of the North Korean border, where all hell could literally break loose at any given moment. Not. But who knows, maybe. Later. Oh, and if you made it this far to the end of the video, here's your bonus. Here is a cute rabbit on a wooden table. Eating Chance. Here's a cute rabbit on a wooden table eating a noodle. This is your reward if you made it all the way through the video. That's Chance. The Chancinator. Sir Chancelot. he gets a noodle treat every now and then. That's a buckwheat noodle. That's his favorite snack. Okay, Chansey. Time for lettuce, too. Time for some... Yes, he wants another one. He's like, another, please. All right. Meet Chance. All right, that's it for now. Over and out.